Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Actually, a whole lot of people don't know the term sexting. Maybe they may be using other terms for it or would know what it means but don't know the term sexting. So just for those people to understand what sexting is basically when you share pictures, explicit pictures, which could be nude pictures or pictures in some various states of undress. It could be your pictures, they could be somebody else's pictures, typically your pictures. There could be sexually explicit messages, and this is done via video or cell phones or computer or any digital device. So that is technically what sexting is. Now, we'd heard the concept of sexting some 8-9 years back, but we'd heard it only in the context of it happening in a few countries abroad. Then, of course, it filtered down to our own country. It was happening in colleges. And since the last few years, we've seen it filter down to schools and filter down to lower grades. So we've had cases of 7th graders and 8th graders sexting. So it is a very, very worrisome phenomena which is unfolding, and very important that we as parents have this conversation with kids about sexting. Not just explaining to them what sexting is, but explaining the repercussions of sexting. See, because dating is happening much earlier today, and if you're you're dating somebody, you are in a relationship, there would be, romantic talks you'd have, sometimes dirty talks that you would have. Now, fortunately, in our generation, those romantic and dirty talks were over landlines, and nothing could be recorded. Unfortunately, for this generation, everything can be recorded. So they have to be very, very particular about what they are saying, what they are sending, because one wrong message can impact their whole life, and not just impact it now, maybe just 20 years down the line, something may emerge on the internet, because nothing ever goes away, right? And it can impact their life. So they need to be very careful about what they're indulging in. And so again, conversations is important.
When a child finds themselves, that their image has been circulated, or a fake image saying that it's theirs. So in such a case, then how do you counsel a child? And how do you keep the communication lines open that if something like this happens, the child will come and tell you?
That's a very good question, and that's one of the key reasons why we tell parents that have conversations with your kids much early on. Because if you've not had conversations with your kids, say for example about sexting or about pregnancy or about STI, no way is your child going to come and be able to talk to you about the fact if they're facing something like this. So only when that comfort level is there will the child come to you. Otherwise, the child will source out other ways of figuring out the problem. They would go to probably their friends who are equally, naive as them probably, or don't have the right know-how about how to deal with these problems. Because ideally, the child should come to the parent, and the parent, I would say that don't freak out. Of course, it's a huge thing if your child's images have been leaked to the online world. But there are ways out. There are cyber security units which help you pull those out. So there are ways to deal with it. But the only thing is, what you as a parent have to do is open those doors so your child feels confident enough to come to you for help.